Pronounced, defined, used in lexical dispatch.
Waive. Verb. Relinquish a right voluntarily. Give up. Forswear. Forgo. Do without. Subsistence. Noun. Subsistent. The state of having what you need in order to stay alive, but no more. Something just enough to survive on. Survival. Existence. Continuance. An election official may waive the identification requirement if the election official knows the identity of the voter. The legislature may, by general law, waive the annual application requirement in subsequent years. The parties may agree in advance of a dispute to waive the right to trial by jury if a dispute arises and litigation commences. You have the right to remain silent. If you waive that right, anything you say can and will be used against you. Some companies want people to sign statements they will not speak out against the company or waive any further claim against the company. Because you are making regular payments, many creditors waive or reduce fees and interest. Minnesota law states that any agreement by an individual to waive, release, or commute rights to unemployment benefits or any other rights under the Minnesota unemployment insurance law is void. The policy will clearly waive compliance with the law's existing work participation standard. When these furloughs went into effect, the government said they were going to waive enforcement of that. That agency also may establish a procedure to waive the penalty if the penalty poses a hardship. Sharma said she pays new teachers a subsistence wage until they land their first job in a school district. He had seen the goal of his subject as being to secure a certain fund of subsistence for all the inhabitants. Bread in our model represents nutrients needed for subsistence as required by a strict interpretation of the Malthusian constraint. Time management for subsistence agriculture is generally a matter of task orientation, with work periods expanding and contracting according to a given task. As an institution, the mission offered an opportunity to incorporate material items in the form of new trade goods, to increase their subsistence output, as well as to provide a degree of protection from their enemies. Those subsistence farmers and fishermen are still scrambling to get any shelter they can over their heads. The widespread loss of crops and supplies in the South, both for commercial growers and subsistence farmers, is a source of grave concern. The wages of the ordinary worker were at a mere subsistence level, and therefore medicine or simple rest was out of the question for many people. Despite their relative disadvantage vis-à-vis their husbands, direct involvement in agricultural production assures the subsistence of married women more easily than it does single women. Public image is a battle that concerns the media. Widely circulated images of subsistence living, civic conflicts, and wild animals in the Western media of African countries make it difficult to attract students.